Hey everybody, and welcome to another installment of Tom's World. Today I am back in the Neshaminy State Park once again, and of course, I start off in the garden. I love this place. I come to you with some good news, just in case you didn't happen to catch my live feed on Friday, I believe it was. And to be honest, I don't blame you for not watching it. It's an hour and a half long. It went like about an hour longer than I thought it was going to, but everybody seemed to be into it, at least on my Facebook anyway. So the news that I have is that I've been talking with the head ranger, the manager, and she has been talking with the maintenance guy, and between us all, I was given the green light to go ahead and help re-beautify this place, to make it look the way that Robert Logan had intended it to look, so, or at least as close to it as we can get. So that entails a lot of things, one of which of course is I have to dig up, or we have to, I should say, not I, that won't be me alone. We have to dig up the remaining paths, the brick paths, and we have to do so gingerly, because keeping in mind that these bricks could be from like the 1920s, unless they've been replaced since then while the Logans still lived here. There are a bunch of extra bricks that we do have access to apparently on the side of the garden, so hopefully if we have to replace any, we can use those. And so we have to dig them up. We have to level out the paths because over time some of them have sank, some of them have risen because there used to be trees growing in here, so the root system probably lifted up the bricks. So the goal is to try to expose them and level them off. Do the same exact thing with the chessboard over there. And then from there, the next thing that I could think of that we would want to do is over that way. You can see the mini reflecting pool. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to have water in there for safety purposes. Even though it's not really deep, it's still, plus standing water, mosquitoes, things like that. So it may be possible to just fix the stones that are on there and just make it like a planter for like low growing plants or flowers or something. And then past that, I'm not really sure what we'll be able to accomplish this year, because by the time we get done all that, it's going to be way too late to be planting flowers and stuff like that. We also have the raised bed garden over there. Probably dig that out and get all the old dirt out of there, because that's been in there forever. Put in all new soil. In the longer reflecting pool over here, they filled that in with the intent of putting flowers in there, making it like a little mini flower bed. Well, not mini, but like a flower bed, not raised. So we might have to dig all that dirt out as well and put in fresh soil when it comes time to plant the flowers. For now, it's okay to just stay like that, but maybe over the winter or something, we can figure out something to dig it out or whatever. Sorry, I keep looking at the display instead of the camera, and I've really got to stop doing that. Anyway, so yeah, let's just take a walk around and I'll show you what I'm talking about, what I want to do. The whole reason they have this fence here is to deter people from coming through this way, even though I have seen many people go in and out this way. And yes, I was guilty of doing it my first time here because I neglected to read the sign on the other side, but they don't want people coming in here, because just in case this happens to decide to come crashing down, they don't want anybody to get hurt. So if you come here, please respect that. There are entrances on either side, and then there's like a big opening right there, so you don't need to come through this way, but you can walk up to it just to take a look at Humpty Dumpty. So anyway, there's that. She wants to bring in somebody to do that. I think that the wall could stand to be repainted, like take down the little bit of vines that are growing on there, have it repainted. There's a couple of bricks up here that are a little loose, and then there's some, as you can see down there, that have fallen, and you can see where it fell from. So maybe have it put back up there, cemented up, just to make sure it doesn't come falling down again. So there's that, and there's also the raised bed garden here. And now you notice that they took all the weeds out, which is great. I love it. When I came here the last time and I saw that, I thought that was awesome. And in doing so, they exposed these little brackets right here. There's one on that side, and then directly across from it there, and they go all the way down here. Now I assume this was just to separate out the flowers, like, you know, this section will be this flower, that section will be that flower, so on and so forth. But there is also in the middle You can see where it's dug out a little bit. That's from me the last time I was here. There's a concrete divider going down, and that's like dead in the center of this. So that is also cool. But we got to get all this dirt out of here, because this dirt is old, and you know, it's got all kinds of weed root systems growing in it, and it'd be nice to just start with fresh soil. That's going to be a lot of money. So at some point we're going to have to do some kind of fundraising to get the money for all the soil and the cement that we might need, and the flowers, and maybe flower donations from different companies. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get to it. That will probably be during the off season when I try to do some kind of fundraising. But for this season, the goal is to get it all prepped, clean it up, level it out where we can, just make it look nice. So here we are at the mini reflecting pool, and you can see that it actually has been trashed a little bit, like somebody kicked some of the rocks off more so than it was the last time I was here, which I don't like seeing. All you're really doing is just ruining something beautiful, and it's just a shame. So if anybody's ever here and they see people doing this, try to discourage them from doing it. But you can see it's now filled with all the same muck and grass from them mowing the lawn here. But a lot of the original rocks that are missing from the sides are in here. And I know that it's not that deep. The last time I was here, I took a stick and I put it down there. Some parts seem deeper than others, which lead me to believe that the concrete underneath has probably cracked open, but it's not seeping through. So it's maintaining water. So I'm not sure that we're gonna be able to keep water in there, as I said, for safety reasons. But it would be nice if we could. If not, then we'll just make that some kind of little flower bed. Maybe put a bush in there or something, I don't know. All kinds of possibilities. We haven't gotten to that point yet. So, anyway, you can see that there are some bricks still sticking up from paths. So it's going to be tough trying to figure out where every single path is in here. Although some of them you can clearly see. I know that, I'm pretty sure anyway, that there was one going around this whole little mound here. I doubt that this is the tree that was here back then, but obviously there was something here. And we have some drainage here, which is good. So I can say with some certainty that these two trees on the inside of the fence here were most likely here at the time. Though I could be wrong, who knows, but I would assume they're rather large. This one too is rather thick. So chances are it was here for the original garden. Although I won't know 100% for sure until I get to the Ben Salem Historical Society, which I've been conversing with them as well. And I will be getting over there and getting a hold of all their information, which I believe I was told includes the garden plans. So to say what flowers grew where. Now we're not going to necessarily be able to use the same flowers that they used, because I was told by the ranger that the only kinds of plant life we can grow in here would be plant life that's native to the area. So, but that doesn't matter. We can still make it look really, really nice in here. Okay, and here we have sundial number 1. This was in the garden originally. It has not moved anywhere, obviously. Sundial face and whatever you call that thing on top, long gone. Maybe we could do something about that. And I had mentioned in my live feed that somebody was drawing arrows all over the place. There goes one of them. Again, I'm not sure what was here. This could have just been one of the wild trees that were growing that they decided to take down when they cleared out this area. So might try to, I don't know, maybe we can make that into another little flower bed of some kind. You can see that the grass / weeds are growing through the bricks. Need to do something to take care of that as well. Some of the bricks are a little askew, and I will try to take care of that as well with the maintenance man. More arrows. And see, now here you can see, despite the fact that, you know, it's got some dips and some raises, how the bricks were laid out. So that can be used as a guide when we're trying to put them back in after leveling out the ground. Another arrow. There was obviously a tree right here, long gone. You can see the line of the outside of the trail, so we know that there's definitely bricks under there, and where I am currently standing, because there's some more coming up. Got 2 pillars here, and then there's 2 pillars on that side. Figure out something to do with them. What would be great is if we could find the original gates that went to these 2 sets of pillars. Maybe put the gate back on there just for show. I mean, they could be somewhere around here in the bushes. I know that some pictures that I saw from, about 4 years ago, one of the gates was actually resting on that sundial down there. So maybe they have it in storage somewhere. I'm not sure. And you can see that parts of the path are either missing or sunk down way below the dirt line. Won't know for sure about that until we start digging. You can see some parts of a path out there and there. And then we have where the chessboard starts, all in this area right here. Here's part of one of the squares. Here's another one. You can get a better look seeing the square outline, but it's not really straight as it was in the pictures that I saw, so may have to fix that. I just hope that in doing all this that we don't ruin a lot of bricks, because that would be a shame. I mean, they're just red bricks. I can't talk today. They're just red bricks, so it would be easy enough to get, I'm sure. But it would be really, really nice to use the originals. You can see it goes around here, and then a path went out that way. And then right about where that other pedestal is there that had the sundial on it, there's another path going out to the left. And then it goes, I believe, straight from here, right where I'm standing, or actually right about here. And it goes straight up that way, and it goes to the back fence of the garden. Goes all, there should be a path that goes all the way around, I believe. But then you have this pedestal. Now this, the story behind this, and I'm not sure if I've told it before in its entirety, but Robert Logan had made this on his own. He sculpted the whole thing, and he had a sundial on the top. You can see where the two metal pieces were that it was part of, and somebody stole it along the same time they stole the original other sundial. And when they opened this as a park, people were actually using this because the rangers at the time didn't realize what they had here. So they put it over in that area where picnicking goes on. And people were setting their hibachis on top of this and ruining it. So one of the guys that belongs to the Bensalem Historical Society, who also worked on this land when the Logans owned it, like him and his father, he worked on here as a child. His name escapes me at the time, but I'm hoping he still works there because I'd like to meet him. But he found out about this, and he said, oh, no, hell no. And he took it from where it was and put it here in the garden. Now, you'll notice it's on the bricks. this is something else I should like to fix. There are plenty of places throughout here that have concrete slabs in the ground that were for the many statues that they had in here. Maybe we could somehow get that lifted up and put on one of them so that the bricks aren't hindered by it. Otherwise, it's very beautiful. It's got all these different Egyptian type symbols on it. I know I've showed this before. I know I've put up pictures of it, but you're going to see it again. This one, I have no idea what that is. If anybody knows what that is, let me know in the comments. I don't even know what to look up. Now this one, I know what it is. That's the Egyptian symbol for life, I believe it is, and it's called an Ankh. And then you have the owl. But man, Robert Logan put a lot of work into this, and he really loved this. Of all the different ones that he had in here, which he had multiple sundials, many of them, this is the one I see him pictured with the most. And I believe it was written rather below one of the photos that it was his favorite. So there we have everything that I'd like to start doing, just to get the process started. Then we have this. I'm not sure what this is. I think it was just recently uncovered in the last 10 years or so. I want to say it was just another place to have like a statue or a planter of some kind. But if you look, it's all brick underneath. So I'm wondering if maybe this was another reflecting pool. But it does have that right there. This little, I don't know if that's a pipe. Maybe this was a fountain. Or maybe that was just something that held a statue in place. I don't know, because there is really not many pictures at all of this side. Most of the pictures that you see will take place either over there by that sundial or up by the main entrance. As far as the chessboard goes, I've only seen one picture of it when this was still owned by the Logans. So here we are. There's pretty much everything I want to do outside of getting rid of all the weeds and stuff around the trees. And that will be phase one. I will be chronicling as I go along. I'm not sure if I'm going to do like one video at a time and show them as I'm doing it, or maybe just wait till I get everything done and just do a time lapse or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll do both. Who knows? Anyway, I think I might go down and try to check out the caves. I was on to something last time I was here, or at least I think I was, but I had to get going because I had to come up and talk to the ranger. But I think I may have started to find possibly where the main entrance is that I've been looking for, the one that has the archway of stones, bricks or something like that. But before I do that, let me show you, as far as I can tell anyway, from the pictures that I've seen and the old aerial maps that I've seen, where some of the buildings used to be on this land when the Logans owned it. So here we have the entrance to the garden. We have the pump house, which obviously has been there all along. And from what I can tell in the pictures that I've seen, that on this side over here of the pump house towards the back, I believe that's where the barn house used to be. Barn house and garage. It's kind of hard to tell in some of the pictures. Sometimes it seems like it's there, sometimes it seems like it's off to the side on there. But you know, there could be two different buildings there, and there hasn't been too much of a map layout. So maybe once I get to the Historical Society, maybe they'll have an actual map layout of the place. They can definitely tell me where the garage was, because when they first started up, they actually came here and fixed up part of the garage, and that was their office for the Ben Salem Historical Society. Eventually they decided that it wasn't safe enough, so they moved out and moved to where they are now. So you have that. The mansion, I believe, was over this way, like way down there somewhere. Not way down, but like down here somewhere. This road here was always paved. This was the I believe this was the original road in and out. It's either this one or the one down that way, and it goes like that way. It might be the one down that way. I think that's Winks Lane, that one's called. This one, I'm not sure what this trail is called because I don't know that there's any sign for it. There might be up further. But so definitely the mansion was over in this direction somewhere, because when I see the overhead pictures of where that one sundial was, the gray one over in the far corner there that I just shown, it was in direct line with the mansion. There was the row of evergreens and then bushes and then like pansies or something in front of that went all the way from the house all the way down that way somewhere, and then they formed a circle at the end, and that was in the middle of the circle. So that much I know, and it was on the other side of the garden. But maybe it was further down than that, because also over here in this area in the corner there of the fencing, and it might have gone in a little further than that, there was 2 greenhouses. One ran that way, one ran that way, and there was also a building there too. I'm assuming just for the greenhouses themselves, you know, equipment, whatnot. And that's where they grew all the flowers for Independence Mall downtown, even after the Logans had passed away for quite some time, actually. So it might have gone out a little further, so I might be right in thinking that the road out there was the main road that went out, and that the mansion was down around here somewhere. And I think right over here was the barn house, and then on the other side of the pump house may have been the garage. So that makes a lot of sense. So that might be it. Also, down in this direction somewhere, I'm not sure, I don't think it was on the same side over here as the barn house, which is kind of hard to imagine because you see the hill goes up a little bit. Maybe it just sat on top of that hill. It's entirely possible. But somewhere right in here was Blossom Farley's 4-story tower. I've actually gone into the brush here, tried to look around to see if I could find any remnants whatsoever, and of course I could not. Really would have been nice. I found an area in there where it goes down a little bit, and that might be where it was. Like maybe the foundation was also dug out, and that's why it goes down. Then again, that might have been an entrance into his underground dwelling as well, because it would make sense. I believe the dip is like right there. So maybe that was the covered up original entrance that I've been looking for, but I can't tell because the brush is too thick. So I'm gonna have to wait till the winter for that, I guess. But so that was pretty much the layout right here. The Ben Salem Historical Society has also told me that they have a map showing where all the little housings were for the 13 different people or couples or whatever that lived here from the artist colony. So that'll be nice to have that, so I can go see if there's any remains of them as well, because I have been looking for them, I just haven't found any. Now in front of the pump house, I still want to know what this is. This could have been another sundial. As I said, he had many of them. Although it could have just been a bird bath. I don't know. I haven't seen it in any pictures yet, so maybe we'll find out someday. And back here is where I believe the garage was, where they would work on all the different vehicles and farming equipment. Which is kind of evident when you look. You can see a piece of it in here. I think I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. Oh, how I just love walking into spider webs. It's all wrapped around my head right now. But so anyway, here's the piece of farming equipment, some kind of wheat baler or something, or wheat cultivator. I'm not sure. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what I'm talking about with farming equipment, because I do not. But the irony is, the first time I came across this, and I was trying to explain it to my dad when I got home, and I showed him the pictures I took of it. He had a Western on at the time, and they had one of the exact same thing as this, being pulled by a horse. So he mentioned it was something to do with wheat, so I'm guessing that's what it is. And this tree just does not want to let go of it. It's like, no, it's mine. Get away, it's mine, damn it. You can see some pieces of concrete here. So I don't know, maybe the garage came all the way out to this point, and maybe this was just sitting next to the garage when the place got abandoned, and Mother Nature took it back. Little by little, anyway. So I think that's pretty much it for showing where stuff used to be. So now just leaving the garden, and at certain points I see these ferns growing all over the place. Not all over the place, just in certain areas. So I'm not sure if these are just wildly growing, or if they were planted there some time ago and they just continue to grow. Not sure on that. I can't say that in any of the pictures of the garden that I saw any ferns growing, but I didn't see pictures of the whole property, so maybe we'll find out at some point. Okay, out on that mound. I'm just kind of searching around before I go sticking my camera down that hole on the other side here. Just doing a quick search. I'm not going to do a real thorough one, because I promised that watcher, Anthony, that I would do that with him. But I just thought I'd take a quick peek. I don't see anything, so. I did see another hole on this side, but I think that's just a gopher hole. Man, this thing got overgrown quick. It's amazing. So here's the one. It's kind of hard to see in there, but I'll give it a shot. See what we can do. See what we can do. Okay. Hard time talking English today for some reason. We got our light on. Let's check it out. Let me adjust this real quick. Have to carefully take it out so that I don't lose my phone. Let's check out the other one. Okay, we're here at the other one. Lowering you down. You can see a little archway right there. That's not the one I'm looking for, though. See, for all I know, the entrance that I'm looking for could be in here. But you see how tall that stuff is. And I am definitely not trying to go into that. No way. And let's try the third hole. Even though you can't see much from that. Always have a hard time finding this one. It's like further out than I would think. It's a little scary with how tall this stuff has gotten. I don't want to find it the hard way. I think it might be... Oh, I see it. Well, let's see if I can get to it. Okay, I made it. So let's take a look. And here, I'll bend it the other way just because I know you all loved seeing those camel crickets or cave crickets, whatever they're called, so much. Let's take a look at them. So that was that one. Not sure if you saw the camel crickets or whatever they're called, but I will find out when I get home, that's for sure. Although I came across something as I turned around, which I'm not sure if I had noticed before, as I almost fall. But looky here. We have some concrete with some river rocks in it, which is what Blossom Farley used to make his caves or his underground dwelling. So it's possible we could be looking at an entrance. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. There's like way too much brush down here, and I'm not sure, but I may have already stepped through some poison ivy, which I really hope not, because as I've mentioned in previous videos, I am pretty allergic to it, as most people are. So hopefully I'm wrong and it wasn't poison ivy. Either way, rest assured when I get home I will be scrubbing my legs. Well, I guess that wraps up another one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the news that I gave you in the beginning of the video. I know I enjoyed my time here, I always do. I could stay here all day, all night if I could, and I would never get bored of the place. Anyway, and I'm also excited for the news that I talked about in the beginning of the video, in re-beautifying this place. I look forward to that. I was conversing with the head ranger, the manager, as I was actually making this video, so plans are being made and things will definitely be happening soon. So stay tuned for that, and make sure, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. That way, when you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified when I put up new videos, because I may be chronicling this as I go along, but I'm also definitely going to do like a whole big compilation video showing what it looked like in the beginning and what it looked like by the end, which probably won't all be finished until next season, but a good portion of the prep work is going to be done this year, definitely. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. And until then, make sure you stay healthy, stay safe, and take care.